Well, we're going to do an orchard walk. So we'll start as a frame of reference at the back of the house where you can see the wash house and the creamery. And then we swing around, as in the previous videos, we mentioned the veggie gardens with the arbours walk running across it. And then we're going to go through, halfway through the arbor walk, and there's a pathway down to the orchard. So we're going to take this pathway down. And I keep saying my gimbal and the container floating across the water would be handy about now, but I don't think the phone's doing too bad a job. Of course our ground is not the smoothest to walk over. It's typical rural earth. So we come down here and we have a gate here which then leads into the orchard, which I'm going to have to try and fiddle off and open one-handed, which should be amusing. Now the orchard, of course, is all asleep at this time of year, actually. I may have to stop the video and restart to see how I go. I'm getting close. Yeah, I just managed it one-handed. Yeah. I might not be able to close it one-handed, but I'll see. See if I can get that closed one-handed. Close enough. Coming back into the orchard, out on the right hand side of that orchard is that double fenced run, which we can use to contain a horse or something similar for a period of time. All through the property in these areas is water troughs. You can probably see over the side there. There's a water trough there, and it's got a float, and it's fed from water, so they're automatically filled. And there's another one just down here, and one side in the run, one side in the orchard. So we can actually allow animals to graze within the orchard, but I'm not so sure liberty and orchard would go together too well. I think we might start pushing over trees. But I'm just going to go down to the bottom corner of this orchard, which actually defines the far edge of our property in this direction as well. Yes, and yeah, we can get into the run for a gate here. So our property now runs from here through the orchard all the way up to the road, and if I swing around just through the sleeping orchard, you can see little highlights of the house itself. If I swing further back round, you'll be able to pick the gate that we just came through. So this is the bottom corner of the orchard. So I'm just going to walk through here. Now this orchard also has planted some very original daffodil bulbs brought over in the 1800s, and they'll be coming up shortly, but there is a few little bit of snowdrops showing here as well at the moment. So if we wander up this fence line through the orchard, and I'll try and not knock myself out on any branches while I'm watching the camera and not watching where I'm going. Yeah, you can see the little bits of off on the right there. You can see, I'll actually go up to them, some snowdrops coming up, but I'll come down to the fence line and swing, but you can actually see the house through the trees there, and you can sort of see the orchard as it's folding out from that side. If we wander along this fence line a bit more, I'll go into some, you can see the snowdrops there. I'll actually do a close-up of a snowdrop in a minute for you. They are just coming up as it's now starting to get to the cold part here. 3 degrees this morning, so getting chilly. Maximum about 10 or 11 today. So if I wander on over here, as you can see, there's some snowdrops there. That's for Charlotte if she doesn't know what snowdrops are. And you can actually There's some slightly different colours just starting to show. So I actually think the daffodils are, and there's the house up the hill again. And you can see there's, if you actually look carefully, you can see a pathway. I'll actually move across so you can see the pathway a bit better. And then you can see the gate. And in our first video at the main entrance, I took you to a gate that went into the orchard. And from the main entrance, and that's the gate up there. So if we swing round through the rest of the orchard, it comes along further along this way. And I think they tend to run the sheep in here from time to time to help keep it down. And I know the neighbour next door, very friendly, and they have a few sheep, and I'm quite sure if we really wanted to keep the grass down here for a little bit, at one point I didn't want to put Liberty in, I could probably borrow a few, let him graze a few sheep in here, and that might help with that. That fence line running along there and that creek there, well, that fence line is actually the edge of our property. And it wanders on out this way. Now these gardens are going to be absolutely magnificent, give us a year. They're going to be pretty good this year, but they'll be absolutely magnificent once we actually get into it and fix them up. So that's our the two boundary fence lines, the main road and our side of our property coming together at this far corner post here. So right out here, it constitutes the far edge, and yeah, there's some bar lamb wool on the fencing. It represents the far edge of our domain. Now I'll wander on round as we complete the orchard. It still continues on just a little bit. I'm just avoiding a few branches and things, trying not to impale myself on low-hanging orchard branches. And then we sort of come on up this way, and we come out of the orchard into a bit of a front lawn area, which we can tidy up and do something with, I'm sure. That gate ahead of us takes us back onto the circular drive, which pretty much completes a rough tour around the property. So there you can see the house in that corner, and then running off down into the orchard, which we've just walked through. And the orchard comes right up that bank. And we come around and continue on to this gate, and you can see the Belvoir House sign and out to the right on the road. And there's our gate, a circular drive, and Belvoir House itself. Looking in at the pond, kitchen windows, dining room window, and out on the left of the house is the main entrance, and out the right you can see the creamery.